thank you very much, Deborah and ACT, for this chance to come back to BC to present on this topic, and for joining me in taking a risk about talking about a unique perspective on how we approach the idea of treatment and care of ASD. And that really is, and I agree, Dr. Bailey, that this is really more than just about one construct. It is about a quality of life, of living a purposeful, meaningful life. And that's where I think clinical scientists really should be heading, and I think what families are also asking about. So family input is integral to what's driving this talk. So I do want to talk about thriving in youth with ASD. And what does it take? This is not a manualized treatment. This is not a singular approach that's going to address this idea for everybody in the same way. This is I want to plant some seeds, and what I hope is that the examples I provide in this morning's talk, as well as the important contributions of the panel after lunch, will really help to turn on some light bulbs about things that you already realize are promoting thriving in your context for people that you know with autism, whether it be a family member or a client or a neighbor, but that we all have a role to play, and we're already doing a lot in the area. And because I'm an outsider coming to BC, I can't say, go to this program and go to this program and go to this program. That's your job. What I hope to do is kind of stoke that fire so that at the end we're all leaving with a better understanding of all the different ways that we can promote the quality of life of people with ASD. Okay, so get to the slides, John. Just don't keep the top on. Okay, the first slide on. So I'm going to start by talking about mental health and mental health problems, and move from that to this idea of positive youth development, this idea of thriving that didn't start with autism in mind. Far from it. This is really literature in typical development and trying to understand a positive orientation to what it means to grow in a healthy way. I'll talk about a number of different individual, child, and kind of factors, as well as contextual factors that empirically as well as conceptually are linked to this idea of positive youth development and mental health, and give some examples of different community programs that already exist that are moving in this direction, that are already contributing in this way. I thought it'd be very interesting, since I'm in BC, to share with you some of the BC-specific results of information that came from a recent national survey that I helped coordinate with the Canadian Autism Spectrum Disorders Alliance. So a big thank you again to ACT for helping to distribute this across the province, and a thank you to all of the families and professionals and adults with ASD from BC who did contribute. Deborah asked me to say, and I will, that in terms of what we expected in terms of the relative contribution of different provinces, that BC was overrepresented, slightly overrepresented in the mix, which is nice to see. We would have always loved larger numbers, and it's important to take the descriptive information I'm going to share with you today with a serious grain of salt, because it is those people who decided to participate. It was, in some cases, we had very small rates of participation, like in terms of who participated from BC. We had 67 caregivers of preschoolers participate, 371 parents or caregivers of school-age youth with ASD, and 81 caregivers of adults with ASD in BC who contributed to the survey, as well as 21 self-advocates. So I'm going to present to you just some percentages to stoke the fire, but we have to keep in mind that this is not necessarily representative, far from it, of all families and all adults with ASD living in BC, that this is a self-selected kind of sample.